So another Swadhyaya. Moksha Shastranam Adhyayanam. Swadhyaya is Moksha Shastranam Adhyayanam. There are so many Shastras. You can have Dhanurvidya also. That is also a Shastra. But Moksha Shastra, the Adhyayana, the Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana on what has been presented, that is absolutely necessary for a sadhaka. Oh, यहाँ ही लेंथ की बार में ये था और Tattva-chintana, especially in this day, because there are so many things coming up, quick ways to realization. So to be protected from all that, the chintana on the words of the acharyas, the gurus, is imperative. Then you have your own upasana, manonash and vasanakshaya. Vasana, we make it Shivamaya, Shivakama, because that intensity is required. So today, right now, we will do the Guru Bhajana Stotram. Are you familiar with it? Kala Vikalpita Shesha Bhuvana Ananda Bhojanam. It's a very sweet bhajan stotra. We'll do. Let's see how many. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Nami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayam Sutra Bhashya Krito Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punah Ishvaro Guru Atmeti Murti Veda Vibhagini Vyoma Vadyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunatu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Guru Bhajana Stotram. Zatal ki samajhnam ka Narlyanka va Kalabhikalpita Shesha Bhuvanananda Bhojanam Kridantam Tripure Nityam Parasam Vidgurum Bhajiye Haryakaram Harakaram Rinkaram Vambikatanum Hridaye Dvaitamatmanam Yotayantam Gurum Bhaji Shiva Priyancha Rudraksham Gale Bhale Tripundrakam Kare Samvinmayi Mudram काषाय वसनोपेतं करुणार्द्रविलोचनं कामारिसेवनासक्तं कल्मषघ्नं गुरुं भजे श्रितार्तिभेदनोद्युक्तं शर्मदं शमशोभितं श्रुत्यन्तवाक्यमनिशम् श्रावयन्तं गुरुं भजे संशयोच्छेदने दक्षं रक्षिताचार्यसन्ततिम् स्वनाथ करपाथोज संजातं सद्गुरुं भजे दीक्षितं शिष्यमोक्षार्थे साक्षात्कृतमहत्पदम् दक्षिणामुखदेवांशम् ब्रह्मनिष्ठं गुरुं भजे ग्रन्थिं भित्त्वा विनिर्यान्तं वर्षन्तं गगनेऽमृतं कोटिविद्युत्प्रतीकाशम् शक्तिपुञ्जं गुरुं भजे जनयित्वा निजानन्दे रक्षित्वा मां क्षणे क्षणे पाययन्तं भक्तिरसम् मातृभूतं गुरुं भजे अनन्यभावनागम्यम् अभयं ज्योतिरान्तरम् इच्छाज्ञानक्रियामूलम् आत्मरूपं गुरुं भजे देशिकेश्वरपश्वादि भेदशून्यं चिदम्बरम् देशकालानवच्छिन्नम् निर्विकल्पं गुरुं भजे मज्जन्म जन्म साफल्यम् अहो जातमयत्नतः यदङ्घ्रिरेणुसंस्पर्शात् तमानन्दं गुरुं भजे श्रीगुरुद्वादशात्मानं ध्यात्वा स्तोत्रमिमं पठेत् साधकोत्तमः संवित् दृष्टिसौष्ठवहेतवे श्री गुरु द्वादशात्मानं ध्यात्वा श्री गुरोः द्वादशात्मानं ध्यात्वा स्तोत्रमिमं यः साधकोत्तमः पठेत् किमर्थं पठेत् वा किं प्रयोजनं तत्र संविद्दृष्टिसौष्ठवहेतवे the sadhaka, not just the sadhaka, the sadhakottama, the best among sadhakas, that is the shishya, very much in tune with the Guru Tattva. May he read this stotra, imam stotram pathet. The stotra is the Guru Dvadashatmanam dhyatva pathet, meditating upon the 12 kalas of the Guru Shakti. May a sadhaka recite this stotra. And what is the reason, what is the purpose? Samvid drishti saushtava hetave. Sushtuhu kritam, sushtuhu uktam. You have spoken most correctly. Sushtuhu means correct. There's an oughtness to what you have said. So saushtava is the correctness. So samvid drishti saushtava hetave. There's so much that we are listening to. There's so much that we are reading. An invariable confusion. But here, where the 12 aspects of the Guru Shakti, the 12 kalas have been expressed, meditating, understanding those, the sadhakottama who reads this stotra, it becomes very meaningful and his perception gets clarified. So the confusion, because after all, communication is primarily through words, and words change their meaning, usage. Over a period of time, there can be miscomprehension. To remove all that, to bring about the saushtava and his samvid drishti and his jnana drishti, whatever we have been, the chintana that we have been doing, let us not be embroiled, so to say, in some sort of an argument within, or let us not cling on to some half-baked idea. Let there be correct perception of what the acharyas have given us. That drishti saushtava is what we want. So for that, towards that, this Guru Dvadashatmanam Dhyatva, the reading of this stotra, is very, very powerful, and it gives that result. The Guru Paduka Stotram is something which is actually upasana. An identification with the Guru Tattva begins. The sadhaka overcomes his limited personality, not by visualizing, but by that out of sheer bhakti, transcending his own limitations, becoming tanmay with the Guru Shakti. Here it is the meditation on the 12 aspects, Dvadashatmanam, the kalas. Generally the Dvadashatmanam is the Surya. When you do the Panchayatana Puja, in the Surya, Dvadashatmanam is 12 kalas. So this is the resplendence of the Guru Shakti blazing forth, completely annihilating all our ignorance, not partially. We are invoking that by going through this stotra. Naturally it is a stotra, so the patha is done with a little understanding of the meaning. It becomes very beautiful, but we meditate upon it also, praying that we get the saushtava in our samvid drishti, our perception, and we attain to what is the purpose of this human life, culmination. Shivoham kalabhikalpitasesha bhuvanananda bhojanam kridantan tripure nityam parasamvid gurum bhaji. Kalabhi kalpita ashesha bhuvana ananda bhojanam. Kalabhi, with his kalas, Kalabhi Tritiyanta Bahuvachan. Kalabhi, with the kalas, with his Shakti, with that immeasurable Shakti, that principle which Kalpita Ashesha Bhuvanananda Bhojanam. Again Kalpita, conjured, created, self-created, Ashesha, endless, Bhuvana Ananda Bhojanam. Creating the worlds, the Bhuvanas, he who enjoys that. It's literally bhoga. Aham, aham, aham iti. I see food there, very hungry. Once I taste it, wow. And then once I've eaten, oh, it's me. So, bhuvanananda bhojanam kridantan tripuri nityam parasamvid gurum bhaje. The first line brings about the immensity of the Guru Shakti to the sadhaka, because the sadhaka is bound. As unlike a jnani, he is still very clear about this is me and this is the without idan jagat. All these bhuvanas, inclusive of this body, everything has been created by that Shakti and it is enjoying that presence. This is me, this is mine. That Shakti I revere as the Guru Shakti, Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, Nigraha, Anugraha. Wow. The Shakti which creates the entire universe, I'm in awe of it. Kridantan Tripure Nityam Parasamvid Gurum Bhaji. Kridantan Tripure, that which is doing the Krida in the Tripuras, the same Shakti, Parasamvid Gurum Bhaji. So now there's a localization. In my three shariras also, there is this Chaitanya Shakti which is doing its own vilasa, kridanti tatra. So kridantam, that which is playing, sporting in my three puras, that Shakti I revere as the same Shakti which brings about this entire manifestation. You understand that? In a cosmic level, Mantati, that Shakti which is sustaining the entire universe, it is the same Shakti which is the Aham in me, enlivening me, the conscious principle in me. I am not detached from it. It is not something, okay, now I have to perceive it somewhere as though it is something other than me. It is the Shuddha Aham. Kridantan Tripure Nityam Parasamvid Gurum Bhaji. The Aikya is being established in the very first shloka. Aham Brahmasmi, Brahma Atma Aikya is being stated in the very first shloka. There is no Asi Pada, but it is implied. It is the same Shakti, means it's the same thing. Aikya is already established. That is why these stotras are extremely pramanika. So I revere that. So it is very much within me, and it is sustaining this entire bhuvana also, and that is exactly what I want. Sarvatma Bhava. I don't want to detach myself from this evil world. That is at a very gross level. But even the sadhaka is seeing himself as a jiva. It's not just one life or its failures or achievements that are troubling him. I have lived innumerable lives, been very successful, been total failures, in a few maybe. Who knows? Asankhya. I want to be rid of this. This is not the way I want to perceive myself. I now need to know myself as Shivoham, not Jiva Baddha and struggling to make certain accomplishments in this life. You understand that? That background of Vichara is already there. The Vichara Vivek has already started in the sadhaka. That Vairagya is being built up. So when we do Swadhyaya, we want to be at this level. Okay? And because the Upasana and Pujas are being done, the Prasada is there, and our immediate worries, anxieties, etc., we pray that those are also dealt with effectively by our Purushartha and the grace of the Guru. But I don't want to limit my connection with the Guru to getting my jobs done. So again and again, rising out of that pettiness, that attempt is made, at least during your Swadhyaya, when you are sitting alone in meditation. Devi Anushthan kal kiya ji? See, Devi Anushthan is also something I had started a long time ago. There was a very good Vidwan. Then I had checked with Swamiji. Swamiji was very happy with this. Your Ishta mantra is preferably not used for anything else. You have a relative who is unwell, so you start doing your Ishta Japa, it will happen. But then specifically don't use your Ishta mantra. Keep your Ishta mantra as pure as possible. It is only for my direct connection with my Ishta Devata, my Guru, period. Then what do? You don't pray. Certainly you pray, but you pray intelligently instead of just rambling. So we select shlokas from the Saptashati, and currently what we are doing is Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanye Trambake Gauri Narayani Namostute 28 times. The second, Shulena Pahino Devi Pahi Khadgena Cha Ambike Ghanta Swanena Naf Pahi Chapa Jani Swanena Cha. The second, 28 times again. 108 times of Sarva Badha Prashamanam Trailokya Kileshwari Evameva Tvaya Karyam Asmad Vairi Vinashanam. And then 28 times of Shulena Pahino Devi and 28 times of Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike. This is a beautiful way of presenting your immediate concerns, etc., to the mother. And when you start also, you don't say, okay, I'm so unhappy. First, Sarva Mangala Mangalye. Then you have your prayers and you continue with the stotra, the shlokas. And here it is the Shuddha Shiva Atma Aikya Bhava that we want. So this Shakti which sustains, creates, etc., is very much within me, and Kridantan Tripure Nityam Vartate. Tasmat Tadasham Gurum Aham Bhaje. And then with the Samparka of the Guru, Mantra Diksha happens. The Guru makes the Sankalpa. This Jiva should understand his Shiva Swarupa. And to enable that, give some sort of a foothold to rise. Mantra is given. So the mantra is generally Haryakaram, Harakaram, Rinkaram Va, Ambikatanum, Hari Akaram. It can be a Krishna mantra, a Vishnu mantra. Harakaram, it can be a Shiva mantra. Rinkaram, it can be a Devi mantra or a mantra composed of just Bijaksharas without any name. Bijaksharas are extremely subtle. So Bijakshara Yukta Matra mantra. Or it can be meditate upon a particular form. Do the upasana of this form. Connect to this Ambika Tanum Hridaye. But having given the mantra, the sadhaka begins to understand it as something very dear to him, his Ishta Devata. But what does it do? That meditation, that particular japa, etc. Hridaye Advaitam Atmanam Dyotayantam Gurum Bhaje. In the Shishya's Hridaya, the Advaitam Atma is expressed, is understood, is realized by the Shishya. And that is the only reason. Okay, you are not up to the mark, or you are struggling, or take this mantra, now you do the mantra japa, fine. But the sankalpa of the Guru continues once it has been made. And what does it do? It ensures that the Shishya understands the Advaita Atmanam Hridaye. Again, Advaita means I have understood my Atma and your Atma you understand. No, the Advaita, one underlying consciousness, has been understood. Makes sense? The first shloka made it very clear. That living principle, that consciousness, whatever you say, because these are English terms, Chiti Shakti, which activates the body. The Aham, unfortunately misguided Aham, in our case, Ahankarana has happened, but the pure Aham is there in this body, so also without, holding the entire universe. That is my soul. Advaitam Atmanam Aham Idam. There's no idam in this. Best way is the way Bhagwan Raman Maharshi put it. Aham aham, aham aham. That's the Shambhavi Mudra. Hridaye Advaita Mahatmanam Dyotayantam. He who causes the Shishya to realize his own Atma, that Gurum Aham Bhaji. Shall we go to the next? So, worshipping the Shakti, the Tripura Devi herself, who's creating the entire universes, realizing, accepting her as that which is there in one's own body, realizing that because of the grace of the Guru, through the mantra, Advaitam Atmanam, now it gets to a personalized sort of form of the Guru, because this is Guru Bhajana Stotram. So there is a description given. I used to meditate upon Adi Shankaracharya when doing this. Shiva Priyancha Rudraksham Gale Bhale Tripundrakam Kare Samvinmayim Mudram Dharayantam Gurum Bhaji. Shiva Priyam, he who is Shiva Swarupa, and in the avatarana as an avatari, he is doing the puja, the anusthana of Lord Shiva, of Lord Bhavani Shankara. Shiva Priyam. Shivo Bhutva Shivam Yajet. Shiva Priyam Cha Rudraksham Gale. Wearing the Rudraksha Mala, very purifying, a sign of Shiva's grace. After the Tandava, after the dissolution, when it is said, when Rudra saw what had happened, he shed tears of compassion. Those crystallized into Rudraksha. So Rudraksha is that which ensures we are in touch with the compassionate anugraha of Rudra. Shiva Priyam Cha Rudrakshangale Bhale Tripundrakam. Bhasma Bhuti, he wears Bhale Tripundrakam. The Bhasma Dharana is done. Kare Samvinmayim Mudram. And the gesture, he is not holding any ayudhas there, because this is Moksha Parayana Shishya who is doing the Upasatti, and the Chinmudra is displayed like Dakshinamurti. In Mauna, the Jnana is given. So, Kare Samvinmayim Mudram Dharayantam, he who is holding, who is displaying the Chinmudra, Tadrisham Gurum Aham Satatam Bhaje. I am doing the bhajana. I am doing the sevana of that Guru Shakti, that which is beyond name and form, and that which comes to me in a very endearing form, to which I can relate. Kashaya Vasanopetam Karunardra Vilochanam Kamari Sevana Saktam Kalmashagnam Gurum Bhaji. Kashaya Vasana Upetam, Gairika Kashaya Vastra, Vasana Upetam, was donned the ochre clothes. Kashaya Vasanopetam, Karunardra Vilochanam, his eyes are brimming with compassion. Karunardra Lochanam, Kamari Sevana Saktam, again Asakta, his heart is full of love for the Shiva Tattva, which is his own Atma Swarupa. So he is engaged in the pujana of Kamari, of Lord Shiva. Kamari Sevana Saktam Kalmashagnam Gurum Bhaji. He who burns away the kalmasha, the dirt, in the antakarana of the Shishya. He has the power. So, Kashaya Vasanopetam, the Virakta, the Sannyasi, Karunardra Vilochanam, and still, when the Shishya comes, distraught, troubled, the Guru doesn't say, this is all mithya, you will have to bear with it. There is compassion, he understands, he emphasizes, and the anugraha flows. as we meditated upon, seeing the distress of the Shishya, the Guru meditates immediately on the entire parampara and comes with the upaya, Guru Paduka Stotram. So also something is given, some guidance is given. So Karunardra Vilochanam, though himself untouched by the Tapatraya, who understands, appreciates our agony as jivas and is determined to pull us out of this. That Gurum Aham Bhaje. And to do that, he is always displaying the Chinmudra, the one effective way. That's the only upaya. Okay, the upaya, so to say, will be the Guru Paduka, Stavana, Dharana, etc., Pujana. But here, the Brahma Atma Aikya is all that you really need. Everything else is secondary. So the Guru will, in that particular relationship, which can go on for years, bring about that paripaka in the Shishya's antakarana, that I need this. This is my goal. Arthusatasa, because rarely everybody approaches the Guru as the Uttama Shishya. We come to the Guru why? Artho Jignasur Artharthi Jnanicha. Artha, out of distress. Jignasu, oh, I have understood something, now I need to understand it more. Jnatum Ichha, what is this tattva? With a spirit of inquiry. Artharthi, now I am convinced that Upasana will yield fruit, so I need to be guided in that. All three levels. Jnanicha, Bharatarshava. Arjuna is told, all four of them are worshipping me, and don't ridicule the one who comes in distress, because he is also worshipping me. But it is the duty of the Guru, not Ishvara, Guru, to elevate the understanding of the Shishya and ensure that he becomes very comfortable with the idea that ultimately it is Brahmatmika Jnana, that alone is my Lakshya, Jivanasya Lakshyamidam. That means all the manana also has to be done. It sounds good, but I don't think it is possible. I'll consider after retirement or maybe next life. No, that conviction has to come. And that is the litmus test of any Guru-Shishya Sambandha. Has this arisen? Yes, everything is going on fine. Shritarti Bhedana Udyuktam Sharmadam Shamashobhitam. Shrita Arti Bhedana Udyuktam. He who is ever alert, Udyata, he is ready, Sajja, prepared, intent on doing what? Shrita is those who have taken ashraya, those who have surrendered, those who have appealed to him. Shrita, their arti, their dukkha, their sufferings, bhedana, removal, complete removal. He who is ever intent on the removal of the sufferings of those who propitiate him, that Gurum Aham Bhaji. So it's a very living relationship. Nirantar Chintan Anusmarana we are expected as we go through our lives with all our whatever travails and tribulations. So some upaya is given, sometimes it's just enduring because prarabdha is strong, but still the connection that is deepening because of the Guru Samparka is only with this tattva which pervades everything, which sustains everything, and which is very much within the Shishya. That is highlighted. So that Gurum Aham Bhaji. Sharmadam, Sharma can be here it can be taken as Aishwarya, etc. The Guru, because of his tapas Shakti, can remove the suffering of the Shishya, can also provide Sharmadam, either some kala or some abhivriddhi in the life of the Shishya begins through his samparka of the Guru Shakti. Sharmadam Shamashobhidam. So the Guru gives not because he has that Aishwarya, what we perceive, but his Aishwarya, Shamashobhidam, Shamadama Uparati Titiksha, etc., are his wealth. And because of that, he has the power to remove our suffering. Sumptuousness in life, okay, the anugraha comes. It is not a wealthy man giving dana or to somebody. It is the Guru Shakti which removes that negative element, that need that of the Shishya. Shama Shobhitam. But his wealth is the Shamadhamma Ityadi. When you meditate on the Shiva Tattva also, living in the Smashana, the Bhasma Dharana, Kapali, Bhutesha, absolute, what shall I say, it is almost amangala by our human standards. And still, he can give everything. So meditation on that is one of the purest because it drives into our head what we are seeking is not what we actually need. My Lord is not bedecked with diamonds and whatever ornaments and then generously gives. His Aishwarya is something totally different, untouched by this world. Shiva Bhajana Stotram, maybe we'll take it sometime. So even as we appeal, even as we are benefited, we realize the fallacy or the impermanence of what we tend to ask for, and we rise above it. Our titiksha, etc., uparati become meaningful. If you are to perceive your Ishtadevata as always sumptuously with extravagant alankar, etc., your desire for that may continue. The Vairagya may never step in at all. So the Shiva Tattva brings about that Vairagya also as we deal intelligently with life. That is brought out beautifully in this shloka. These two shlokas, Kashaya Vasanopetam, Shritarthi Bhedanodhyuktam, Sharmadam Shamashobhitam, Shrutyanta Vakyam Anisham, Shravayantam Gurum Bhaje. Shrutiyantam, Shruti, Veda, Shrutyantam, Upanishad, Vakyam, Aupanishadic Vakyas, that is the Brahma Atma Aikya Pratipadak Vakyas, who incessantly gives the Bodha. The whole purpose of our dealing, interacting with the Guru is to kindle this awareness of the Atman, is to kindle that desire for our Atman, realizing oneself. So we are always being led slowly in that direction. In as much as we surrender, the faster the growth. Shrutyanta Vakya Manisham Shravayantam, who is, it's not necessarily the Mahavakyas that are being repeated, Tattvamasi, Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, etc. But we are guided in that direction alone through our samparka with the Guru Shakti. Shrutyantavakya manisham Shravayantam Gurum Bhaji. Though he is the Karunardra Vilochana and he is the Shritarthi Bhedanodhyukta, the purpose of this connection, of this Guru Shishya Sambandha is just one. Shrutyantavakya Shravanam and Moksha Prapti. And on that path, Samshayochedane Daksham, the Samshaya that arises in the mind, in the heart of the sadhaka, total confusion at times. So the sadhaka, the Shishya is reassured. Samshaya Uchchedane Daksham Gurum Aham Bhaje. The Guru has the capacity, that Shakti innately has the capacity, that Shakti of Dakshinamurti, to dispel our doubts. There is a guidance happening at every stage, provided the sadhaka is looking, seeking some answer. There is a solution. No, I don't understand or I don't accept, I end it here. That termination comes out of ahankara. Once this tendency is understood by the sadhaka who has become a shishya, he dares to say, right now I'll keep this on hold. This insistence has never proved useful for me. So he learns to subjugate that ahankar driven insistence. And then Samshaya Uchchedana happens. Samshaya Uchchedane Daksham, who is competent. Samshaya Uchchedane Daksham. Rakshit Acharya Santatim. He himself, the Guru himself, is protected by the Guru Parampara. It is not an individual. I am, there was nothing before me. I am, that is enough for you, now you do. Hey, this is asampradaya murkhavad upekshaniyaha. One who has no sampradaya, you keep away from such a person, because nothing, no guru can also save. Even Ishvara will turn away. So sampradaya with the guru, he is protected by his acharya santati or rakshita acharya santati. He who has got the jnana and is communicating. So Rakshita Acharya Santati, he is protecting the treasury, what has been handed down, Paramparagat, what has been received, he is handing it down. Tadrisham Gurum Aham Bhaji. Swanatha Karapathoja Sanjatam Sadgurum Bhaji. Swanatha is Guru. Karapathoja. The Shishya has been fashioned by the Guru. What a beautiful. See that now? That lump of clay that is put and it starts spinning. Then what? A beautiful thing is fashioned out of it by the potter. Nice pot. So fashioned. Kara Sanjata. Swanatha Karapatha Ja. Pathoja. Born of the Sankalpa of the Guru is the Guru whom I propitiate. There is a parampara implied here. Sakshat from Dakshinamurti, that tattva aham rupena I want to know. Swanatha karapathoja sanjatam gurum bhaji. Then we come to one of the most beautiful shlokas in this stotra. Dikshitam shishya moksharthi sakshat krita mahat padam Dakshinaamukha devansham brahmanishtham gurum bhaji. Brahmanishtham gurum aham bhaji. He has realized his Atma Swarupa, that gurum aham bhaji. So, how does that appeal to me? I am Dikshit. But here, Dikshitam Shishya Moksharthe. Gurum bhaje. Dikshitam gurum bhaje. The Guru is also Dikshita. In what? Shishya moksharthe. In the moksha of the Shishya. So, and as much as the commitment lies on the part of the Shishya, I will do the upasana, etc. He has to be, it is brought to his awareness, because he receives these intimations, the guidance, the corrections, the protections repeatedly, and he knows that the Guru is also Dikshita in the moksha of the Shishya. He will ensure that this Jiva, once it has surrendered, has offered itself, will have to attain its own Shiva Swarupa. So the Guru Shakti Sankalpa is always there. So whenever we feel our Sankalpa has weakened or whatever, again relax. My Sankalpa doesn't work this world. So there is a Shiva Sankalpa also that has been made, and that is going to uplift me. That is the best way of overcoming most of our emotional and mental turmoils, which are basically meaningless. There is no explanation that can resolve some mental crises that we have plunged ourselves into and then wallowing in it. So relax. It is a Shiva Sankalpa which will bring me out of this. That is the Uparati, not just Sahan Karna. Uparati, rise above that. So Dikshitam Shishya Moksharthe. There is a Shiva Sankalpa, infinitely stronger than my Sankalpas, which is bent on liberating me. Tadrisham gurum aham bhaje dikshitam shishya moksharthe. Sakshatkrita mahatpadam, who has done the sakshatkar of the mahatpada. Aham brahmasmi pratishthatandi brahmatman dakshinamukha devansham. And like Dakshinamurti, the Upadesha will come in Mauna. So it isn't that the Guru Shakti has to go into Mauna. I have to maintain that presence of mind, that silence, bring about that silence where the truth is revealed, the guidance is received. That is what we attempt in our japa. That is what we were trying to feel there amidst all the noises also. Because it was such a beautiful Vatavaran environment, you sense that underlying silence. Yes, it was probably a little too noisy, but still there were times when you could cling on to the external silence. But still, because of the presence of this, you could be aware of it. Now that leaves profound samskaras on the antakarana. So this is not replayed. You invoke it when you go and sit in your room, in your house also. Feel that peace. It is not just a dead silence. It is not inert. It is a vibrant silence in which all sounds can rise, but finally they'll have to succumb to that silence. So that internal silence, not auditory, is what the Shishya attempts, and he realizes the Upadesha is always forthcoming. The guidance, the upliftment is always there. Dakshinamukha devansham tadrasham gurum aham bhaji, aham bhaji. There is much more that happens because of the Guru's grace. The ignition of the Supta Shakti in the Mooladhara of the Shishya. Mahadev, Mahadev. Granthim bhitva viniryantam varshantam gaganemrutam koti vidyut pratikasham shakti punjam gurum bhaji. The Upadesha is given through words Shravayantam Anisham Shrutyanta Vakyam. And there are times when the Guru maintains his silence, so the Shishya also learns like a child to be quiet, and then the solution springs forth. There's an active participation when that Shakti is kindled. Granthim Bhitva, the three Granthis, the Brahma Granthi, Vishnu Granthi, Rudra Granthi, all those knots, contaminations, those are removed. So the Shishya develops a dakshata, he attains to bhavatmak shuddhi, purity, and finally his understanding, jnana shakti also is awakened. He realizes himself. The granthim bhitva viniryantam and varshantam gaganemrutam, which cascades down in ambrosia. That is the Kundalini Jagrana. So before we do the meditation, we generally do that prakashamanam prathame prayani prati prayani amrutayamanam tadrisham shaktim abalam aham prapadye. That is that in the three puras, she who reigns supreme. So awakening of that Shakti also is done by the sankalpa of the Guru. I think I'll keep it just this much. We are really trotting. We have done this many times. I'm not going to go ahead. Any exceptions now? No. What is Ashirvachan? I'll continue with this. If you have anything, you ask me. There's nothing coming, no questions, nothing. All blissfully knowledgeable sadhakas. I don't know why I conducted this at all. They'll give me the location and date also of when I had last taken this. जयति गिरिराजेश्वरी मम हृदय पंकजवासिनी जयति गिरिराजेश्वरी मम हृदय पंकजवासिनी राजेश्वरी मम हृदय पंकजवासिनी शिवगिरीश्वर स्वामिनी श्री संविधान विलासिनी शिवगिरीश्वर स्वामिनी श्री संविधान विलासिनी शिवगिरीश्वर स्वामिनी श्री संविधान विलासिनी जयति गिरिराजेश्वरी राजेश्वरी राजेश्वरी हैमवती उमा सामश्रुता गुरुरूपिणी देवी हैमवती उमा सामश्रुता गुरुरूपिणी विमर्शिनी शिवभक्तिभावविकासिनी शुद्ध ब्रह्म विमर्शिनी शिवभक्तिभावविकासिनी यज्ञविनाशिनी दाक्षायणी योगेश्वरी दक्षयज्ञविनाशिनी दाक्षायणी योगेश्वरी देवकार्यविधायिनी गणनाथ गुहमादेश्वरी देवकार्यविधायिनी गणनाथ गुहमादेश्वरी शिवगिरीश्वर स्वामिनी श्री संविधान विलासिनी
शिवगिरीश्वर स्वामिनी श्री संविधान विलासिनी
ज्ञान तपसा तर्पिता यति पूजिता ज्ञानार्जिता
तपसा तर्पिता यति पूजिता ज्ञानार्जिता
ज्ञान तपसा तर्पिता यति पूजिता ज्ञानार्जिता
तपसा तर्पिता यति पूजिता ज्ञानार्जिता
संविधान विराजिता गिरिजा जयत्यपराजिता
संविधान विराजिता गिरिजा जयत्यपराजिता
संविधान विराजिता गिरिजा जयत्यपराजिता
संविधान विराजिता गिरिजा जयत्यपराजिता
जयति गिरिराजेश्वरी मम हृदय पङ्कजवासिनी
गिरिराजेश्वरी मम हृदय पङ्कजवासिनी
शिवगिरीश्वर स्वामिनी श्री संविधान विलासिनी
शिवगिरीश्वर स्वामिनी श्री संविधान विलासिनी
जयति गिरिराजेश्वरी राजेश्वरी राजेश्वरी
गिरिराजेश्वरी राजेश्वरी राजेश्वरी
गिरिराजेश्वरी गीतं साधकानां हितप्रदं संविधीश्वरभिक्षुणा कृतं देवी प्रसादजम् Ramana Maharshi, when he came here as a youth, people were intrigued to find this young man doing tapasya. They perceived it as tapasya. He would go sit in the 1,000-pillar mantapa. The insects would crawl up, bite him, and his ahar was whatever naivedya was offered at the temple, the bananas, the milk, all that concoction. So there were very advanced souls who approached him. Ganapati Shastri, he was one of them. And there's a beautiful Ramana Gita. I've just got hold of that book. We may take something from that. I believe there is a shloka inscribed over the samadhi of Raman Maharshi. I don't remember having seen it. I got to know about it just yesterday. The Nempaldis brought me that. We can meditate on that also in the evening as we conclude this. In the Vedas, it is Saraswati as Vak that is revered. So we give a lot of importance to that. Uttered speech is in conjugation with the mind, the breathing, and then the utterance. This uttered speech is called the Vaikhari level of speech. the vikharangata, that which is distorted, because it is expressed, and the means of expression are the lips, the tongue, the throat, the breathing. So there are so many components which bring about the uttered speech. So it is definitely contaminated, in the sense it won't be as pure as the speech that is at a deeper level, which is less dependent on these organs. Makes sense? Vikharangata. But that is our speech. Now I want you to quickly understand this point. In puja, manasa, kaya, vacha, whatever I have done, any mistakes I have made, may they be forgotten, overlooked, or forgiven at least. There's a complete difference made between manasa and vacha. But there's another way of looking at this speech which is extremely important for sadhakas. Speech, the uttered speech. Okay. Namo devyai mahadevyai shivayai satatan namaha namah prakrityai bhadrayai niyatah pranatasmatam. I can speed it up a little. Om Namo Devyai Mahadevyai Shivayai Satatan Namaha Namah Prakrityai Bhadrayai Niyatah Pranatasmatam. Now this is a mantra. It has been perceived by the rishis. But there is a limit to the speed when I utter it, because of the limitations of the tongue, the lips, even my breath maybe. But if I don't use these, or first it's upanshu under my breath, I can speed it up a little, because I am not actually uttering each syllable, each consonant. When I stop that, I am doing it now. What is this? My breathing moves according to that, and still I am uttering it. I am aware I am uttering it. It is not audible. Now when I am not using the lips, I am not using my tongue, I am not uttering it, the tongue need not twitch. That is where the correct breathing, etc. come into play. Totally relaxed. I have uttered it once. It is at a mental level. I'll say mental level. But here I am seeing it by way of the 4 levels of speech. I have pulled in from the Vaikhari. It is at the Madhyama level that the mantra is resonating. And it is very distinct. If I do it twice, I can manage. 5 times, 5. 10 times if I have to repeat it, other thoughts creep in. But if my breathing is relaxed, and I've already started with the sankalpa that right now nothing else matters, I'm not going to resolve any crisis by going into any discussion right now, so out. That hata should be there. Then this mantra which you are repeating becomes protected. You have to take it within. I am just aware of my gentle breathing and the mantra going on like fire. There is no other thought that can intrude. This is the Madhyama level. Subtler than that is when you go into dhyana, you have to sit for hours. You have to make that during Chaturmas, at least 1 hour. As we seriously, I think, experimented in this Chaturmas. You do your morning japa of vidhana, that is, have your bath, do the achaman pranayam, the sankalpa, the vinyoga, the nyasa, if you have been given that, then do the japa. But at night, position yourself, relax, take back support also, see that it doesn't slouch, and continue. Learn to do this japa. This is precious time, just me and the mantra. It may be a little tiring. The first sankalpa should be there that I am going to sit. There are so many other distractions. It may be a little late also. And I am telling you, at that time, it doesn't matter even if you doze off. Doesn't matter. But persist. Continue. Be aware of the breathing happening gently and let the mantra go on. That is where you'll discover there will be stages where you didn't realize it was not tandra, it was not that you had fallen asleep, but there was so much intensity that the mantra was going on and you didn't realize 15 minutes up, 20 minutes gone. It seemed just you had lost track of time. That is when it is going into the slightly higher level, Pashyanti level. Makes sense? And Para is where all knowledge is already there. The mantra has come from the rishis. That is not limited by time, that expression. Pashyanti takes time. Madhyama takes time. Vaikhari will take the maximum amount of time. Makes sense? I am trying to differentiate by the time here. Any concept, you know the Ramayana. If I ask you for a particular episode of the Ramayana, yes, I know. You know? Yeah, of course I know. Start. Oh. We'll put it all together at the Madhyama level. Take a breath and start speaking. Now when you have to narrate the entire episode, it is going to take that much time. But you have all that jnana already, isn't it? That is at the para level, you can say. It's not exactly para. Try to understand that. So this Vani, any expression in its purest form is one with Samvit. But when we express it, it becomes diluted, the efficacy, so to say. It becomes contaminated also with our emotions. And finally, it becomes ruffled up when we actually express it. That is the Vaikhari. That is why it is called Vaikhari. So if you are able to bring your attention onto the subtle levels where the speech is happening, you are blessed. The going within has happened very, very correctly. Makes sense? That is why the emphasis, and it can never be overemphasized, the necessity of learning to be with yourself. That means sitting for japa, making no excuses. It may not necessarily be in the morning that you get time, that is just time for the official japa. Make time during the day or at night also. You will come out of it very refreshed. There will be no sleep deprivation. At least your awareness, you will be aware, oh yes, I have been doing it at the Madhyama level. That itself is an achievement. And in that, to achieve that, I am telling you, a lot of the ahankara has to be subjugated. A lot of the insistence has to go down. Otherwise, you will be arguing with yourself, not happening, etc. So keep it in abeyance. Don't make yourself so important. Cherish the mantra, give it that respect. You may have lost that feeling towards it because you have been doing it for so many years and nothing is happening. Grow up. Something wrong. I have been giving importance to the wrong things. That is all. With this conviction, rekindle that bhakti, that shraddha in the mantra. Use some other shloka also when you experiment, something that is very dear to you. If you like Trambaka mantra, do that as an experiment of going within, sensing the ucharana that is happening at a much subtler level, that is the Madhyama level. Makes sense? Do these things. Even here in this place, it is so beautiful, so quiet at night. Sit for some time. After all the discussions, chatter, etc. has subsided, it's still welling in the heart. No time, sorry. Practice. Make the best use of these occasions. If we do that successfully, we'll have more time. We'll probably figure out somewhere here instead of that place where we can just sit, contemplate, plus dhyanastha. Random thoughts keep coming. After some time, with the emotional backup that you have generated because you have come for a shibir, instead of anxiety, generally it's stress, it's anxiety. I want to concentrate, I need to, why is it not happening? That is why the emphasis on breathing. That's gently going on. So whenever you become aware of your body and then something is happening or it's not going on well, this sort of a frenzy or anxiety seizes you, be aware of the breathing. Relax. Nothing wrong. That is how you go deeper. There's another aspect. I had, so to say, introduced it made it public, I should say. It is not something I've created or whatever, but I was very hesitant, reluctant. It was only during this Rathotsava. There are other times when you just sit, you don't have to do any japa. If it goes on, fine. But again, the correct breathing is very important. And your drishti, your focus is on the Agnya Chakra. Now there is a query, how does one, I can't elaborate on this. Learn to look up or start looking at your finger and bring it here. Pains, doesn't matter. And then feel it here. Okay, this is approximately where I should. And it goes within, deeper, your awareness. So, or your point of attention. Now how do I explain that? I can't, but you have to experiment, do that. At least it goes deeper. You're focusing within the skull. That attention, if you're able to steady on that, that will be very, very good. It is again complementary to your japa sadhana. And that, it's not only for 2 minutes, 3 minutes or 5 minutes. It's definitely more time that you have to spend, you have to be with that. But at that time, you're not even taking the avalambana, the support of the mantra, some sort of a chatter going on. No, nothing. Anything, any thought that comes up, mercilessly eliminated. No time, not now, not now. So it's an experiment. It is a samskara that is given to the mind also. So initially, if you are not very successful, doesn't matter, don't lose heart. Sort of, it has to be done. I have taken a sankalpa. 7 days I am going to sit and do it, or 7 nights. Spend an hour in that. But there, don't lose track of the breathing that goes on. Very gentle breathing. So your attention will be just there. And if it is too stressful, you are immediately aware, not concentrating, aware of your gentle breathing. Again, when reassured, again the focus goes on the ekagrata that you are maintaining. Practice that also. It is very, very beautiful. The complete transformation can happen when one practices this. Without analyzing, without going through psychoanalysis or whatever, a lot of the accumulated dirt is just washed off. Tremendous atmabala, strength is gained through this. So practice this. Even here, when you are here, you can do it at night. Om nandantu sadhaka sarve vinashyantu vidushtaha avastha shambhavimestu prasannostu guru sada sarve bhavantu sukhinah sarve santu niramayaha sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschit dukkham apnuyat. Om shanti shanti shanti.